Welcome to the Tiim FD podcast. Today is my favorite day is about appreciating every day as it comes, no matter what life throws at us. We hope that this podcast speaks to you, and if it does, please like, share, and comment. Now let's find out why today is our favorite day this week.
Well, welcome back. Today is my favorite day. I'm here with Tim Richardson.
How you doing?
Dave and Tanya are on vacation, hopefully enjoying themselves. They're around water, so I'm sure they are. Saw a picture the other day, and Dave was by the water, and Tanya was shopping. There you go. And we wish them well while they're taking their vacation. Tim is our worship leader here at the Harbor, but he also has an organization called Life of the Party, and that organization consists of how many?
Me.
There you go. There you go.
Me.
So if you don't like your boss,
take it over with your boss.
There you go. There you go. So, Tim, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to the Harbor to begin with?
I am a church boy that grew up into a church man. You know, I went through that period of just being tired of church. You know, so, but in that being tired of church, you miss the fellowship, you miss the communication, you miss talking about, you know, the Bible, talking about its applications in your life and everything. So I think first what led me here is the hunger for it. Okay. You know, and I wanted to get back into church and gospel music and Christian music, you know, and not just secular. That was always the balance for me, you know. And so when I came here, the Harbor turned out to be more than what I was expecting. I was expecting a church, but I didn't understand it was about recovery. Which that's what I was in. So, you know, here I am, and, you know, I feel the people here is what literally, solidified me. The first time I came in the doors, unnaturally, 10 people came up and said something to me. And it was all like friendly. It wasn't like, "Who are you?" It was just like, you know, and it was the love. Pastor Tanya, she gave me my interview questions. And
she can be tough.
Real tough. But I like her toughness, because most pastors, before I even set foot, they want to talk all about my resume and my talent. Which, okay, that's going to get me in. But Pastor Tanya was asking questions about my character. My heart, my character. Am I kind? Am I going to be kind to people? You know, that type stuff. So that's what led me here.
Oh, good. Well, we're glad to have you here. Now, tell me a little bit about Life of the Party. You do some secular music.
Life of the Party is us taking Motown music, you know, from that era, 1950s, 1960s to right now. So, you know, I'd like to keep it family friendly, because we're in a lot of resorts and restaurants, and, you know, things. We'll do church events, medical centers, things like that, cruise ships. But I like to take music from like Marvin Gaye. I even do some Elvis, some Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon. You know, we do. But it's all about entertaining, provide entertainment for the Central Florida area. You know, you have a birthday party, you have a wedding, you know, you have a funeral. You know, we play all of that. My company does that, and I subcontract with different musicians to get the job done.
So you'll play any event pretty much.
I have played almost any event.
There you go. So how do you balance the church life and the secular life and stuff like that when it comes to your music?
Well, Life of the Party, my gift brings life. This gift was given to me by God. You know, it was explained to me when I was younger, you don't sit on your gift, because that gift is for a time and for a season. So I balance it out by knowing who I am. I'm a minister of music. You know, I'm one of God's ministers. So if you have me in your bar, if you have me in your gay bar, if you have me wherever, you're getting a worship leader. And that has excluded me from some events. I would imagine that. I remember the one wild contract I've had in 15 years of doing business was I actually did a 2-month contract with a live band at a gay bar, and the owner wanted me to be there. The review back after 2 months was, he's not gay and it's too churchy.
Wow.
That was a response.
That's a good review.
That's a very good
That's
review.
A very good review.
It cost a lot of money to lose that contract, but I was glad for that review. You know,
you stood up for what you believe.
Not even stood up. I wherever I go, I'm gonna be who I am. You know,
You find that rare in people who make public appearances and stuff like that, because a lot of people will bend what they do to who they're playing for and stuff like that. And that's an integrity. It's an integrity thing.
Can I go on?
Yeah, go.
I've thought about that. People that fake who they are, not saying you give everybody everything of who you are,
right?
But I'm talking about who you are as a person. You'll end up like, you know, some of my idols, Mariah Carey on TRL walking out there naked, because you don't know who to be right now, or Martin Lawrence running down the street talking about they're trying to get me, you know. If you do too much faking of who you are, eventually you'll snap. And I went through that at a young age, you know, realizing that no, I need to be myself.
That's good. The sooner a person can learn to be who they are, the easier life's going to be. You know, I had a choral instructor, and he did the orchestra at the school. He told me I must have been, I don't know, 6th grade, 7th grade. He said, if you can't find something good in a piece of music, you're not hearing it right.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Music, music, and sometimes I'll do memory care.
Okay.
Where people, they're not there.
They're not there.
Have the Alzheimer's. There's a lot of stuff. I'm talking about great minds. These were people that were generals. You know, these are people that were they were career people, and now they're just sitting there. But you'll see a song. I'm talking about open up their whole, you know, what I was telling you earlier about the George on My Mind. The guy, he's just sitting there looking, but then all of a sudden he just starts crying. And his daughter had to explain, him and his wife used to sing that song. So music touches. I've done English music at Spanish rooms, and people know the music, you know, because it's like it's such a universal language.
Right. It is. I am fairly conservative, and especially in my music and stuff like that. And my years of managing restaurants and bars and stuff like that, I was usually always the designated driver. Even as manager, I would rather designate drive than have to go pick them up at the sheriff's department or visit them in the hospital.
Right.
And so several of the staff was going out to a heavy metal concert. And they hesitated to ask me to be the designated driver. You don't like that kind of music. And, you know, no, I don't particularly care for it. But I'd never been to a concert like that. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to believe what Mr. Cooley taught me about music, I can find something good in every song that's played.
Right.
I believe all music is God-inspired. I'm not a big fan of rap, but I know a Christian rapper up in Wyoming that his stuff is God-inspired.
Right.
Okay. You can feel it, you can hear it, and then the emotion that he has behind it, you know it's real. Okay. So we go to this heavy metal concert, and I stand back because I like to have my hearing, you know. But through it all, there was either a drummer or a bass player or a guitar player that you could really tell was really, really into the music and into what they were doing. And there was always a part in the song that would touch you if you let it. Right. Do you think people have a tendency to just shut things out because they...
Oh, of course. You know, I see it. I see it from the stage. Especially, you know, not so much in church, because church, everybody normally is coming here for the worship experience, the whole worship experience, you know, the worship, the word and everything. But when you go to some of, you know, these bars, resorts, people can shut it off immediately. You know, I'll see, 100 people in the room, 40 people got up and danced, 20 people are sitting there watching. And then there's another 40 that just got up and left as soon as I started singing, just off of whatever. You know, I've heard people, because of the hue of my skin, because I'm doing soul music. And I throw country, I throw rock into my show, reggae. I play everything.
Right.
But it's not about the music. It's normally about how people are raised. You know, like if I do a country song in certain venues, as soon as that guitar comes in, they're like,
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I don't want this. As soon as somebody hears a doom, 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 little bass kick, they're like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm done. You know, so
prejudices.
Preferences.
Preferences.
Over racism, over prejudice, I think it's preference over that. I prefer to go listen to this. I prefer, me, if I'm waking up in the morning, I prefer to listen to ocean sounds music. Okay. I don't want to listen to hardcore hip hop. Yeah. But at night when I'm up and, I want to listen to party techno, EDM, so as a good minstrel or entertainer, your job is to read the room. Yeah. If everybody's eating, having a good time, let's throw some jazz on there. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. People can relax and listen to it. And you're right. I think that all too often, people have a preconceived idea of what this particular entertainer is about. You walk into a place to have dinner or something like that, and you have background music going, and the entertainer doesn't start until 8 o'clock or whatever time, right? And then the band walks out, or one singer walks out, people look at them and they look at their clothes, they look at everything, look at color of their skin, and they before they even start, they've got an opinion, right? And do you find that difficult to deal with?
Not really. Okay. Before it used to wreck me. Okay. Oh man, I went years where it wrecked me. I went like 2 or 3 years where that would wreck, like to come in and I'm set up and ready to go, and and the night before I had my fan base there, that was 300 people showing up, loving everything I'm doing. Then the next night, I'm booked at this new venue, they don't know me. Yeah. And so you see half people leave, the staff like, oh my God, 'cause they're mad already. Before I just finished setup, but half of the people left. And they're like, well, that's my money, from the service of the hostess. Yeah. And then after the things start, then they're like, the number one thing in entertainment is be good. Yep. Just be good. Yep. And try to hold on, be good as long as you can. Because once you start not being good. Right.
Yeah. And the whole key behind being good is practice.
Practice. Yep. Not caring. Yeah. Because with those shows where it used to beat me down and see people leave, I was, be in the middle of a song. I've got something. Your whole throat, like, what did I do wrong? Yeah. And a lot of times it could have just been just too loud, or they didn't come for that. Right. It's like certain things, wherever you go, there's a different audience, Well,
we have a tendency to think it's all us. You have no idea what was going on. A couple leaves and you think they're upset with you. Right. And it turns out they just had a fight and they want to get out of there. Or they are on a date and they're on a timeline and stuff like that. Right. And then we look at it and it's, what did I do wrong? Right. When probably nothing.
Nothing at all, Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely can heal. Music can drive whatever you're trying to drive, with the heavy metal, I know some people that I'm glad they listen to heavy metal music, because if they didn't, I truly believe they would be a menace to society. I truly believe it. But they be all calm when you listen to music like, arr. Yeah. There's other people that I've only met one person that just didn't. They said they didn't listen to music, but they just listen to atmospheric music.
I see.
But you still listen to music.
Elevator music? Is that what they're talking about?
Like lower than elevator music. Oh, wow. Like it's just like some strings. Oh, okay. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. No beat, no rhythm, no progression, just no words, just,
But do you think that might have to do with how people were raised, and they weren't raised around music, and they weren't?
Yeah. I know some people that don't do music because their parents did music, and they saw... And their parents were great musicians, talented, but they weren't business savvy. Right. They didn't know how to set up an LLC and get things up and running. So they all they saw was a struggle. Yeah. And it's like, no, there was people back then, setting up their businesses, back in the 50s and 60s then,
Yeah, that's how all the great ones survived, right. And until you get you got to watch out for the managers that you pay and the groupies and all that kind of stuff.
The managers and attorneys, they all get it.
They all get their share,
don't they? They all get
it. Don't they? Yeah. Well, there's always that aspect of any business.
Right. Because they know everything. The entertainment lawyers, they know everything. Yeah. That's why they went to it, to learn, because it's a lucrative business. I can write a song right now and release it through, you know, and then wake up and in Japan it sold 500,000 copies. Now that's in my bank account, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what's happening to musicians now. It's like it's a better time to create content now than ever before, because you can be Motown. Yeah,
and you can put it out on many platforms and not have everybody there
taking a dollar out of it.
Yeah. I read an article, and some folks were on Spotify, and they've got all this. They were complaining about all these musicians that were out there, and I'm not getting my share. I'm not getting my cut. I don't get many listens or downloads. And the person who was doing the interview asked the guy, says, "Are you any good?" And that's the truth. I mean, you can go on Spotify and find all these people, but they're no good. So and people don't want to listen to it. And I think that's one reason why people hesitate listening to something new. You know, somebody they don't know or anything like that. So, so have you written any music that we should be familiar with or that you can tell us about?
I'd be surprised if people are familiar with my music. There's people that's familiar with my music, because I do. You can go to my website, TiimJRichMusic.com. And or just look up Tiim J. Rich, and I think about 30, maybe 40 songs come up. From atmospheric music to, I got drinking songs, I got wedding music, I got a whole gospel album, you know, that you can look up. But if you just look up Tiim J. Rich, Google it, Google my name, it'll lead you to and Life of the Party. I got some stuff for that too. So
So where are you playing this weekend?
Tonight I'm at Bad Fins on Clearwater Beach. Tomorrow I got a private 50th birthday party. That's gonna be crazy. And then Saturday I'm at Latitudes in Apollo Beach.
Apollo Beach still standing?
Apollo Beach is really standing. They I think, well, I haven't been back since 2 weeks.
We have to see what the tornado or the hurricane
God be with
them.
I gotta check on or check back in with Fort Myers. You know, God be with them now.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough situation. So the crowds are different. Church crowd. Bar crowd. But you seem to manage well. You seem to manage the musicians well on our worship team. You work with whoever shows up.
I'm at a weird place where church crowd and bar crowds don't look different to me. Because you're dealing with the same level of hurt or joy. Or, you know, it's the same people. You know, the only difference is in the church is a hospital. So I'm looking at the same people in the hospital. In the bar, what is the opposite of a hospital? This is where they give you all of the stuff that you need to go to the hospital. You know, you know, you're looking at the same hurting people. You have the same mandate, you know what I'm saying, to give them the message.
So you very much understand the philosophy and our church and what's behind it, and that's recovery. You know, and I think that when that's in your heart, it comes across in the music. Comes across. If all y'all haven't been to the harbor at any point in time, you should come out and hear Tim, either at Celebrate Recovery on Tuesday nights or during our worship service Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. But even during the practice, you know, there's a blessing in it. There's just a blessing in it. And that, I believe, comes from your leadership.
Thank you, man.
So we're very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
We think that, I don't know what we're going to be able to do to keep you stay here.
Just do what y'all been doing. Listen, love is everything.
What do you have? Do you have any long-term goals that we can pray for?
I want to open a school of performance. Musical performance. Just teaching people how to wrestle that giant so that they can be able to show the world, everyone, what God put inside of them. Because that is the thing that stops. I know people that can sing anybody under the table, that can play anybody under the table, but they won't because they're so afraid of being up front. I mean, they got a gift. They got a gift that if you heard what they have, it'll heal you. Yeah. It would heal you.
Yeah.
But because when they do that gift, see, what people don't see with most minstrels is that when we start singing, we see the people that's hurting, but we also see the demons.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what scares people.
Right.
We also see the demons.
Right. Right.
And that's what gets a lot of musicians and singers, female, male. You'll be like, come on, you're just so amazing.
Yeah.
You could make millions. And yeah, you got to deal with, one of those demons is isolation and loneliness.
Right.
The more you progress, you just signed a $60 million deal. Who do you think is real you're going to be,
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, and really, if you have that kind of gift, the gift that you have, you really need to be upfront. You need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Right?
You got to figure out young.
Yeah. The younger you are when you figure it out, the better, because as get to be my age and you haven't figured it out yet, you're in trouble.
Right. I can tell genuine people. That's why I'm here. Okay. Genuine people, from the age of 15 when I was first put on a stage. I started in church. So I remember I was playing and singing and doing keys for a 6,800 member church, 3 services on Sunday. I was there 7 days a week. We had 2 Bible studies. I'm doing all that.
So done that. Yeah.
I was doing this kind of same thing. I wasn't as skilled as I was, and nor as talented as I was, but I was still just put up there. Right. Kind of like how we're doing with, the young girl. Go ahead, do it.
Yep.
And see, that was beautiful. I went through months of like, wow, this is amazing. Until I started seeing that all hell hates that.
Yeah.
All hell hates when you're called, you're and you're going to act on it.
Yeah.
You know. So if you really look at your, then another thing, most people go to church as church goers.
Yeah.
But when you're in a leadership position, especially in the music department, what I've learned is a lot of people will take their frustration out on you.
Yeah.
Like they'll buy, and even a not saying like, this is one thing I like about this pastor here. He's proactive.
Yeah.
He'll be like, and he'll challenge you.
Yeah.
And he don't really, I haven't seen him run away from a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
The stuff that I've seen them go through in 8 months, I've seen that collapse other ministries.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But a lot of pastors that I've served under would use the musician as a full armor of God. Like, I will block you away from, save me from the bullets. And I'm sitting there like, I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit. No prayer.
Yeah.
No laying hands on you. Right. You're a minister of music. You should have it all together. But I'm 20. It's like, well, you should have it all together, Right. So it's like you have to learn. Like I really learned to trust God.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Because this stuff of music, there's certain contracts I don't want.
Yeah.
Because there's certain contracts you might be on them for 6 months and it changes your whole financial life.
Right.
And now you got to go back.
Yep.
And so it's like, wow, I did a contract where they were paying me $1,500 a day.
Whoa.
After that, where do you go?
Yeah.
And so I was like, if I do this, I want to do it for my brand.
Right.
So that I can just stay at that. I don't want to have someone else financing,
Right.
And it's like, that's what happens to a lot of musicians where you'll see them, the long run.
Yeah.
Don't ever get comfortable. In life, but don't ever get comfortable. Definitely in music.
Yeah. Everything in life that's worthwhile comes outside of our comfort zone. So this has been Today Is My Favorite Day. Tim, what's about today? What's your favorite part of today?
Being able to talk about myself, man.
Okay.
Talk with you too. Got DJ Alex on the sound.
Yeah. Our producer back there, Alex. He won't say anything or come and get on the camera. But,
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, this has been Today Is My Favorite Day. I'm Sam McKeown along with Tim Richardson. Live intentionally and be very, very blessed, my friends.
Thank you for listening to TIMFD, Today Is My Favorite Day. Views, comments, and opinions are those of the host and guest alone, and Dave and Sam are solely responsible for the content of this podcast. TIMFD is produced and directed by Alex Korn. Music is composed and performed by Chuck Fott. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, live intentionally, and be very blessed.